take it there. Therefore, you gotta take whatever you're talking about as a joke too.
Okay, I wanted to check to see it. Okay, I think it's working now.
FBI really.
All right, there we go. We working.
Trump is straight acting like he was president. And he talking like he was president.
That's because he is, bro. That's because he
Yeah,
is.
but it's just amazing how you one inauguration you just become a whole nother person and act like you ain't the joke that you are no more.
But I wanted to get on topic though, cause I think what people really fail to understand is just the fact that a lot of our cultural rules when it come around relationships and marriages, relationships as far as chivalry, relationships around how men and women conduct each other, what's considered to be a real man and what's considered to be a real woman. I think that most people just fail to understand that the rules, the structure was set up for marriage. It wasn't set up for a relationship as far as boyfriend and girlfriend. Boyfriend and girlfriend don't exist. It's this notion that we created up. It's a alternative fact to relationships. It's just something that we say this is a temporary
At the same time,
thing
you
that we
say
have
marriage
going
don't
on. It's
exist.
like leasing a house. You don't own any of it, so you don't really have invested interest to where you're going to treat this situation and its permanence to where you investing in it because you have something invested into the long outcome of this. So it's like me and my brother was talking
Let me ask
about.
you, which one is more of a human construct, boyfriend or marriage?
Both of them are human constructs.
You think so?
Of everything we go through right now is a
I
human
think naturally
construct. Is a man's construct.
relationships are natural.
Um,
Marriage is a whole nother thing.
I mean, people will argue whether monogamous relationships are natural. That's the thing. People will argue whether people are supposed to be with one person or are they supposed to be more freely or just go with their sexual urges of having sex with anybody. You know, I mean, when you really look at it, a person can curate whatever thought to where they can go with their lower inclinations, which serves their lower self as far as just having sex with a bunch of people, or a person can go with their higher self,
You're right.
which takes a lot more discipline to be in a monogamous relationship.
You're
And
right.
I'm not saying that, because there's a lot of
So
great
they're
men
both human
who,
nature,
who
but
didn't
marriage
have one
is
wife, and
higher.
there's a lot of great men who have one wife. So I don't think that's deterministic when it comes to any moral implication or righteousness. I think that it serves a place when it comes to who can afford, and who is even at that level. Most men can't deal with a girlfriend, so the idea of them having multiple wives is out the door. Most people can't have a relationship with themselves correctly, so them getting into marriage is out of the door. You know, and when we look at a lot of these relationship rules that's created as
I have
far
a
as,
question.
huh? Hold on. Just when we get, I'm gonna say this last thing for a second. When we get into relationship ideas, as far as why the idea of men taking care of the woman was structured, it has a mathematical reasoning, and it has a mathematical reason why we do it. Are we supposed to find a woman to teach, or is it okay for her to have knowledge from another man already? I mean, a woman gonna have knowledge from another man already anyway if she got a father. A father is, first teacher from a woman or where she finds her example of the type of man that she wants to be with. So, I mean, if she had a good father, we would hope that she had a good father that teaches her, correctness, morals and things of that nature. So, yeah, a woman can have knowledge prior to meeting you. It's not for you to just program your woman. That's not a thing.
Ain't that
Um,
leadership though?
huh? I mean, yeah, a woman wants a man that she can get knowledge from. A woman wants to be
What if she
led.
was with a man previously who taught her that accepting homosexuality was a positive thing, and now she comes with you who shows her that it's not a acceptable thing.
So you said
Does she
that.
retain the wisdom from her past, or
Who said it's a
does she let
wisdom?
you lead her, even though she may not
Well,
agree
it
with
don't
you?
matter. You can't bring in another man's mind into y'all relationship. That's conflict. So regardless of whatever he told her, if you in
But what if she
disagreement and
actually?
y'all disagree with that information, then y'all not gonna be able to have a stable relationship regardless of where she got
But
that
what if that's
information from.
where she? Yeah, That's how she became who she was out of the situation. That's where she got her thoughts
Well,
about
we
the
we
situation.
always have to reprogram ourselves so that we can
So are you
be
saying
in
it's a,
synchronicity with the person that we with.
so you're saying it's appropriate for a woman to have to adapt in that manner?
It's
To a
both
new
people have to
relationship?
adapt.
Both?
Yeah, when anytime you start something new, you have
If it's
to
mutual,
build
how
on
can
something.
only one be a leader? How can a man be a leader if it's a mutual relationship?
Because she helps him lead. That's the whole point. She helps him become a leader because man is naturally supposed
How
to
can
be
you
able
be a
to lead.
partnership if you a leader? That's a leadership.
What do you mean?
If you are a leader, how can there be a partnership?
Because she helps him lead. She is his partner in leadership.
Okay, but she isn't the counterpart.
Yeah, it is. Part of his leadership is her being there to help him. It's Obama and Michelle. Can Obama be the leader of the country without Michelle being on the side of him? You know, that's sort of that's that counterpart to it.
I mean, that's Obama and Michelle.
I mean, you can look at all great men. Matter of fact, they said that men can't even be chosen to lead a country unless they have a family. You ain't never met a president that was a bachelor. They don't have just kings as bachelors. You have to first serve as an example that you can lead a family in order for you to even be considered to be able to lead a nation of people. When people see that you can lead a family, then they see that, oh, this person can also lead people, because that's the same structure. There's a balance to leading a family, and if you can lead a family correctly, then you can lead a nation. You said why Hillary lost?
So
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
a woman or a mother in a relationship, she isn't considered a leader in a relationship?
Yeah, she is a leader. Anybody that's a good follower is a good leader. You know, women doesn't want to lead her, man. You know, if a woman has to lead her, man, what would Farrakhan say that if she taking care of you, you become one of her children. She don't want to lead her, man. A man, not one that's in tune with the nature of what it means to be a woman and what it means to be a man. A man doesn't want to be led by a woman. That goes against his masculine nature to be up front. You know, masculinity wants power. What power is in that? You become dependent. Then there's no such thing as being a man independent. Nobody ever said, oh, he's a dependent man, because those two don't run concurrent with each other. You're not a man if you're dependent. That doesn't make sense. A man is supposed to be independent. And the only one he depends on is supposed to be God. You know what I mean? To give him power to continue his dependency.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And then in the relationship with the woman, there becomes interdependency of each other. You know, because a man can't really he can't get to the next level without a woman.
Relationship where the woman doesn't feel like she wants to be led, where she feel like she can be independent and she can take care of herself financially and all those things, but she just wants a partnership. Would you say that that's where a woman is disqualified in marriage just because she doesn't want to be led?
Here's the thing. There's a protocol to marriage. You know, you can say whatever you want to while you're single as far as what you want a marriage to be. And whatever selfish reason that you have to throw away once you involve yourself into a marriage. Because and that, what she said, women sometimes lead out of necessity. I'm gonna get to that. When man, what was my thought pattern? Yeah, I haven't read the thing. But what was your question again?
My brother, you gotta stay focused.
I was reading the sister comment, man, or the bruh.
Man, throw you off.
You know, what was I about to say? I had a good thought too. I was about to hit you with it. You don't even remember. Oh, my bad, bruh. You said, for women that want to be independent. So there's a marriage protocol. Yeah, so if you're going to get into a marriage, you have to know that marriage has a structure for success. So whatever individual thoughts you have before that you get into a marriage, you have to sacrifice those so that you can work in flow with how a marriage works, how the feminine energy and the masculine energy works. So that's why it's an interdependency situation. You can't say that, I want to still be me, but I want to create us. That doesn't make any sense. There won't be any success in that situation. So then that means that he has to figure out how they can collaborate in this situation to set up a structure of success. That's like a person saying, I want us to go into a partnership of a business, but I actually don't want to do any work in this business. I just want to work on my business. That's not how a business is successful. We got roles to where each one of us has to do in order for this business to be successful. And relationship, by all means, is a business. It's a contract. It's two people coming together to create a partnership. You know, and they have roles set up so that this can be successful.
So what are the roles?
I mean, it's a lot of them. Shit, I ain't
Well,
hear
give me 5 of each.
5 of each. I mean, a man has to be a protector. He has to be a provider. He has to be a leader. You know, he has to be the one that foster the thoughts of the family. I don't know if I got all of these damn 5, but those are some. A woman has to be a nurturer. You know, she has to be a teacher when it comes to the family and children. You know, she has to be the feeder. There's a lot of different roles that come into play.
Is it the man's duty to nurture his woman?
In one sense,
she nurtures you?
of course, that'd be selfish for you to say, "Oh, you have to do all this for me," but all I got to do is provide material things. No, woman is not just material and flesh. Anything of the flesh. This time we live in and dictating an agenda for these roles. Anything of the flesh can't be kept, right? So any urge of the flesh goes away quickly, and you have to consistently try to restore those urges. Sex.
How can you say
You have to
money
consistently
are only
research
material
food.
things?
You have to consistently restore. Only things of the spirit can be fulfilled. So when you trying to just when it comes to that, you have to fulfill her spiritual necessities, because woman is divine energy. You got to replenish that consistently.
But how come you can't say that why would you call money a material thing? I mean, because at the end of the day, it requires work to produce, which is actual energy that you.
But we talking about the
So-
currency system, the
so
fiat
she's
currency
exerting
system.
her energy to take care of you or nurture you, and because this is what a lot of relationships falter, is where the man isn't nurturing her in the same way she's nurturing, but he may feel like he's providing even still. Why is that not balanced in what he provides materialistically and what she provides emotionally?
It's supposed to be balanced. Otherwise, you go find a divorce rate high. You know, when a man feels ego driven to where he say, "Oh, I provided this, that, and the third, now do all this for me." It has to have that balance.
But isn't that the balance? You
No,
provide this, that, and the third?
no, that's not
Provide
enough. That's not enough.
4th, 5th, and the 6th?
No, that's not enough. She didn't come in this world for money, so she can't be sustained by money.
But she is sustained by money. The
No, she's
household,
not. That's the
groceries,
household is sustained
all
by
those
money.
things of her body
No,
is
her house, the
relevant.
household
It's
material
all
items
sustained
are.
by money.
If you think like that, you will be
I mean, I'm not
unsuccessful.
saying you going and buying her jewelry or fine outfits. That's not what I'm speaking of. I'm talking about actually you providing for rent and food and all of those
Right, but
things.
okay, that's just a given. That's the bare minimum.
But that's the bare minimum,
That's the bare minimum.
and that shouldn't be appreciated.
Of course, it's appreciated by her doing her job in totality, and you doing yours. But
But
the
it's
person
not necessarily
itself,
the bare minimum, because that's what requires the most work. The money that that money
No,
is
that's
just
not.
material, because
what requires the
it's
most work is
produced from
nurturing
money.
each other,
I mean, from
building
money.
each other up. You know what I'm
So
saying?
if you're going to work every day to get the money that you're using to spend on the food in the house, isn't that you putting in for her in the same way she's putting in for you?
That's you putting in for your family. It's not hers, just her family. So you can't look
But
at
how
it
much more
as if
can
it's
you
not the
put
same.
out other than the energy that you're putting out?
You got
already to provide
unlimited.
those
What
things?
you mean? A man has when a man provides for his family, that's something he's not doing that for
And how
anybody
is that
else. He's not
balanced?
doing that for her. He's doing that
You
for
already
himself
said
as
that
well.
there's a necessity for balance, and how is that balance if he's doing extracurricular things on top of
It's
it?
not extracurricular. Those are the bare. You are in a relationship with a woman. That's not extracurricular to do anything for her at that point. To make her feel good, to make sure she's spiritually, emotionally,
No,
physically
I'm
taken
saying
care
on
of.
the same level that she's doing it with you, though. Because I don't really, I mean,
What do you-
personally, I don't think it's practical that a man can sustain the same ability to nurture a woman that she can nurture you, and also.
In what sense, though? What do you mean, nurture
in
you?
the same way,
What do you mean?
just emotionally,
Well, that's supposed to be a given. Of course, a woman gonna do that. Who gonna be with a cold-hearted woman that they just taking care of? That don't make no sense. That wouldn't be successful. I mean, there's a lot of marriages that fail because of that reason. Is because the emotional detachment, and a lot of marriages fail because they put a lot of things bigger than the marriage. The children, they put jobs and businesses and time, and they end up failing because of that. You still have to remember that a marriage is still between two people. You know what I'm saying? And that relationship between the man and the woman is something that is an ongoing fight and a continuing struggle once you get into a marriage. Marriage is something that, yeah, yeah, you definitely got to know the roles. Marriage is something that you fight for. Marriage is not something you just get into and then, oh, we just in a state of bliss. You have to fight through those times of communication. You know, you have to fight through those times of argument, times of figuring out this person's, like, it's a continuous situation of growth. But once you get in a marriage, you all start to grow. And so you have to notice the changes in yourself and notice the changes in your partner. Otherwise, then a person can outgrow you if they understanding and they experience give them so much wisdom that you not understanding it. You still at when y'all first said y'all vows. Y'all have to both continuously be growing. And communication allows y'all to grow together. And if you don't have that communication, then one person's outlook is gonna be greater than the other person. And they'll be like, how come you don't see things the way I see them? You know what I mean? And that understanding can kill the momentum of the marriage. And therefore the things won't work. You know what I mean? So and when you're talking about something that's long term, you're talking about to death do you apart. Who makes a contract to death do you apart unless you're gonna fight for this like it's a war? This is your battle. If you go get into something, yeah, it's a forever thing. It's not like when you own a house, you don't think about taking care of it for 1 week. When you own a house, you don't think about, oh, I'm gonna get the exterior painted, the interior painted, the first month, maybe the second month, maybe the first year, second year, but after that, I'm gonna stop taking care of it. No, if you want your house to continue to appreciate, to continue to have equity, you know what I mean? You may want to install new floors in it after a while. It has to be continuous appreciation. Look, see, bruh said he going on 24 years. He know what look, I'm a theoretical scientist, brother. I'm a theoretical scientist from an observation standpoint. You know what I mean? Because I'm able to be empathetic for the idea of marriage and the science of mating, the science of marriage and things of that nature. And I observe from the outside because I'm not married myself. But, you know, I've been seeing marriages fail. I've seen marriages go through that I want to quit stage and continue to prevail. So it allows me, you know, insight, you know, looking from the observer's perspective. So I understand that. And I understand even observing from this perspective is things that I would lack when it comes to it would be things that I would lack when it comes to really giving that introspective, because once you're in a marriage, things change. The idea of it changes. You know what I mean? Like you are really with this, like you really just signed a piece of paper to be with this person for the next 20, 30 years, 40, 50 years. Like that idea is wild in itself. And two people that really enter that sort of negotiation, that sort of contractual agreement, it has to be sustained by more than just love. It has to really be sustained by the protocol of what a relationship is. It has to really be sustained by you all building an entity together and you all sustaining that. You all really growing and evolving together. This is something that really takes time, effort, energy. It really takes your life. This is something you trading your life to be with this person so y'all can build together. You're not supposed to be sacrificing it. You're supposed to be adding on to something now. Like y'all really about to become great. I done found wifey. She about to turn me into a whole god now. You know what I'm saying? Love is the highest form of anything. Really, love is energy, right? So when you give somebody energy, you giving them love. When a person say they in love, that mean they got that energy of you on the inside. You know what I'm saying? It's powering them up. But at the same time, you're supposed to be self-sustaining to where if that person take away their love, it's not supposed to deplete you. See, what a lot of people get misconstrued in the ideas of relationship and love is they have their dependency and their energy depending on the person that they're in a relationship with. So if a person takes any time to where they end up focusing on themselves and they feel the withdrawal of that energy, then it makes them feel in a mode of depression. Depression is that lack of energy. You know what I mean? And so then this person not only has to sustain their energy, but they also have to sustain yours. And both of you are supposed to sustain your own, and y'all supposed to add to each other. So it becomes bigger and bigger. I'm supposed to be at 100% charge. You supposed to be at 100% charge. And when we come together, boom, now we got 200. Or we can create this third entity. Two entities come together to create a third. Not, look, three. Not just a child, but really a energy. Like that's the energetic bond between two people. So if I love you, I'm gonna give you all of the energy. You know what I'm saying? And you will be able to hold that energy of mine. You will give me your energy. You feel me? And so you ain't supposed to be tired, and then this person got to be the one motivating you. You supposed to motivate each other. That means you add a value to something. I was always taught a devil is someone who devalues, right? And you think about that throughout life. You can't be a devil in your relationship if you devaluing this person. You know what I mean? You taking away from their value. You know what I mean? And two people that guys in the relationship, they add value to each other. That's the most powerful thing. But you know, relationships are so messed up today because of social media. Is that we have option fatigue, man. We have so many options today. There was a day, I'm gonna tell y'all a story on how my mom and dad met. My mom and dad met because my mom was visiting my cousin in jail. And my pops was locked up at the time. I don't even know if I should tell him this story. I should just leave it for the book. I don't know if I should give y'all this story. My so let me see. My pops was in jail, right? I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of it. And he walked up to mom. He had sweeping the floor or doing something. This is how the legend, the story goes. He was sweeping the floor, right? And he walked up to mom's because he knew my mom's cousin at the time because they was locked up together. And he walked up to her, like, "How you doing?" So and so. He throwing his Mac game, smooth type activities, and he was like, "What's your birthday?" And I guess he was trying to figure out her sign or something. And she was like, "My birthday is so and so." He was like, "Mine too." And then she was like, "Stop playing, you bullshit me. That ain't your birthday." Like she really thought he was just running some game. You know what I'm saying? And then he pulled out his ID, like, "See?" Then boom, she was like, "Oh snap, this is really your birthday." And so like that synchronicity kind of charmed her. She was intrigued at that moment, but she wasn't tripping. You know, mom was like, "Man, it's still a whole jailbird. I don't care how charming." She was like, "You know, I mean, you gonna be locked up for a while. You could write me or something." You know, that's how they did back in the day. It wasn't no IG, so it was like, "You could write me." So you know, pops got the PO box or the address or whatever, the address. It took the address down, and you know, mom's waited for a couple of months, but she didn't. She said she didn't receive no letter, so she went back, and probably a couple months later, and she was visiting my cousin again, and lo and behold, here come pops pulling up. "Man, why you ain't responding to none of my letters?" She talking about some letters. That boy, I ain't get no letters from you. Why you trying to throw more game at me? You ain't send me no letters. So she not believing him. She's in disbelief. But Pops was like, "Nah, I sent those to you." So Pops went. She went back to the crib at her mom's spot, and she went and started searching through my grandma's room, and she went to this box, and it was this box of letters, like tons of stacks of letters, love letters. Now my pops, he a silent gangster, but he a great writer. But you would never tell that this is the same person who wrote those letters. I'm talking about some old beautiful, you know, Titanic Love Jones letters, though. You feel me? So when she read these letters, her heart melted, cause he was talking about some beautifuls. You feel me? And so she went back and she was like, "I got the letters." Next thing you know, they got 10 children together. But the point of the story was the effort that men went into for the right one. The effort that men went into, you know, to give that, to find the right one back in the day. Because for one, not only were the options limited, the rules of engagement were different. You know what I'm saying? The rules of engagement were totally different, to where now the man can really slide into direct message of the girl of his dreams. He can slide right there in the DMs. And not only can he slide to this girl who he never met, just seen the face, checked out the profile, and she got everything that he said he desired into a woman. And she can have the option of responding to that message, and they can literally get together from there. The work that a person appreciates what they have to work for. I believe that men appreciated women a lot more because they had to work a lot more. The communication tactics were a lot different back then. The whole interface of relationships were different back then. So men really appreciated women, and women appreciated the effort that a man went, the volition that a man went to get them back in the day. You had to send letters, and there was a patience in the process. It wasn't, I got your DM, look, you trying to come over later on, boom. You know what I mean? It's just smack done dead. That's not how it went. So when you look at the conductivity of how relationships were started, sustained, and continued, it took a whole different energy, a whole different effort, and a whole different way that they went about it. If you found a woman that you liked, you thought of marriage. You didn't think about benefits. You really thought of marriage. So it changed the whole conduct of it, and that's where you get chivalry from. And that's where you get these constructs from, because you were talking about people who was playing for keeps, not playing for weeks. Quote me on that. We playing for keeps, not weeks. Because some people be together looking good for a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Looking real dovey, beautiful. They kissing the pictures, they posing. They going to do life touch photo shoots. Next thing you know, a week later, all of it disappeared. And she cursing him out on the DM. Talking about this nigga all up on me, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world has changed, the paradigm is changing. People are wondering why things are not working. People are wondering, how come can't have a successful relationship? Because they're not following the protocol of a relationship. They're not following the protocol of a marriage. They're not following the protocol of longevity. Constructs was created because it created the balance between man and woman's energy, man and woman's psyche, psychology, spirituality, thought process. You all have to, you can't just take a quote out of something at the same time. You can't just take a quote. You can't just take old rules and throw it in somebody's face and say, boom, let's work on this. You got to build the foundation. You can't just say, oh, this is your role, this is my role, let's work. No, y'all got to come to a concise agreement based on updating where things are now in this paradigm, based on our social construct today. Everything has to be in continuous upgrading. So if you just throw somebody, be like, hey, this is what a man supposed to do. Hey, this is what a woman supposed to do. And be like, all right, let's start a relationship. What if that personality is in disagreement with that? So you all have to communicate as far as, okay, look, I think that this is what I can do as far as my role. This is what you can do as your role. If we believe that we can consistently uphold these roles, then we can build based off this. And if we build based off this, I'm going to be with you forever, you're going to be with me forever. We just going to continue to go up and up and up and up. But if you just throw a quote at somebody or throw a role at somebody, and let's say that they love you, but they don't love the role, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to work out in the long term, because they're going to be thinking, maybe I can change this person later on. Maybe I don't have to, I can just say that I want to follow this role, but then maybe a year in the marriage, I'm going to shift it a little bit. I know he said he want me to cook and shit, but I'm going to just get a job, and then we just go pay for eat out all the time, or I'm going to pay for the eat out, so he'd think that I'm cook. Like, it don't work like that, because people expectations mean a lot to them. You know what I mean? And so if you don't meet a person's expectation based off what you all agreed to, then it causes a certain depression upon that expectation. You know what I mean? And then things fail. So nowadays, things are so much based off our left brain ego or lust. You got to understand, we do everything based off lust. We do everything based off sex. So we buy a shirt, we go buy a new shirt, you go buy something. You're doing it to increase your chances of having sex. That's what you're doing it for. You are trying to increase your chances of having sex. And that's why they say sex sells. And that's why they sell so much to the sex brain that you have. You have a sex brain. So even food is connected to the sex drive. You understand that? That's why a lot of people, they go and have dinner and then they try to do the nightcap. All of these roles and these structures were created for particular reasons. And so anytime you talking with a person, you just gotta say, look, what are we doing it for? If y'all can be, I'm gonna tell you, bluntness always wins. If y'all can be blunt and honest with each other, then you save each other a lot of time from y'all trying to deceive each other. Women love bluntness. You know what I'm saying? Women love when you keep it real and just be honest, because it saves them a lot of trouble of what they was already thinking in the first place. You feel me? So I'm a blunt guy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you how it is. Like, the way I'm building right now, it's like, if we not building together, there ain't nothing we can do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why you want to distract me and waste my time when we could be building on this? Or if you building on yours, let's figure out a way we can build together. Let's figure out how this is going to work in the future. But relationships today are so lost. You know what I mean? Because people are not getting into them for the right reasons. You know what I mean? And they not clarifying their intentions of why they get into it. A lot of people are fool themselves and be like, oh, that's a good woman. I want her for marriage. I want her for being my girlfriend and see where this really go. But you lying to yourself. See, I always tell people, look, it's not good to lie to the world, but it's worse to lie to yourself. And so when you lie to yourself, you trick yourself. And if y'all ain't building on something, like she said, you're not building on something that has a purpose. What's the purpose? Look at the word purpose. In the word purpose, you know what I mean? It's real close to the word propose. So if you don't have a purpose, then what do you propose of being with that person? You know what I'm saying? What's the reason that y'all posing for? What's the reason that y'all in each other's picture, in each other's life at all? So, today's millennial society is it's a sex-driven society. You know what I'm saying? The young children are, what they say, getting ahead is the new kissing. That's what they doing now. The times have changed. It used to be, that stand-up date where the guy pull up on a woman, drop one knee to get a rose. Now, first date, girl pulling up on a guy, dropping one knee so she can give him head. The society has changed. The paradigm has changed. What women think of independence and power and what they think of women's rights and womanism and feminism has changed. So you have to really get to the root of a person's thinking before y'all can conjoin with each other at all. Because otherwise you not knowing how y'all can build. You know what I mean? So it's a dangerous thing with, the reality of a lot of things today, women's rights and things of that nature. So women are gaining a whole different mentality as far as what they consider to be success in today's time, what they consider to be their role in today. It's being consistently redefined. The matriarchal energy is fighting the patriarchal system. And that's what you see a lot of these sexual allegations and things of that nature, because the matriarch is based off the white man's rule of the world, and women all around the world of all different colors are fighting against that patriarchal system. You know what I mean? And so with that comes a new paradigm, a new mentality. You have to understand that. Anytime things shift, there's change that happens. And so I don't even think that most women have the amount of self-awareness to realize their new mentality. And men definitely don't have the knowledge to understand women's new mentality in the new paradigm as things are consistently changing. You know what I'm saying? So if you think you knew their mentality 5 years ago, but the rights have changed, what women are challenging has changed, the system has changed, then you have to understand it's a new paradigm of thought. Women mature faster than men. That don't stop at a baby's ages. It continues when the paradigm shift. Women, you want to see where the culture is going, look at how the women think. You know what I'm saying? You can see where the culture is going because they're going to teach their children how they think. And then that's what's going to create the future. So a lot of men don't take that time to study themselves, study the women, and study the children. I say women are the keys, but man is the locksmith. Because they say behind every no good woman is a no good man, right? So the man made her that way. She came out in her bare innocence of divine divinity. You feel me? Of feminine divinity, but the man made her misconstrued based on his construct of how he impressioned that key. You know what I'm saying? And then he either can unlock her feminine divine or lock it. You know what I'm saying? And when you lock it, she's going to fight against that. And so what we seeing in today's world, we seeing women really get into a whole new place. And if women evolve past, I ain't even gonna say that sentence is troubling. When women evolve past the current state of where they are today, anytime women involve, men have a lot of catching up to do because women have already been born with certain innate gifts when it comes to intuition, you know what I mean? And when it comes to alignment of thought, women have a particular maturity that's already past men, and their development of self, it can be light years ahead. So a lot of women will find themselves subduing their own intelligence, subduing that forethought so that they can find them a partner. So a lot of women are smart enough to play dumb in a sense. They smart enough to find them someone that can meet their needs, but he might not meet their needs intellectually, might not meet her needs when it comes to that conscious thinking. And I'm gonna tell y'all this right here, man. I talked about this before, but I want y'all to really listen. A lot of people don't know that they women are cheating on them. And a lot of men do not know that they women are cheating on them. And it can be vice versa too, but think about this, right? So what is a relationship? Think about when you get a boyfriend, girlfriend, right? And you on the phone with somebody. Let's say you don't even get to see this person. Let's say it's a long distance relationship. You don't even get to see this person that often. Y'all talking all the time. Y'all having real deep conversations. That person is feeding your mind. You feeding their mind. The man she listened to the most has a very great impression on a woman because a woman can be turned by her emotions. And when it comes to impressioning ideas and images inside somebody's mind, the greatest way to do it is through their emotions. But here's the thing. Women like to be satisfied in all categories, not just physically. They like to be mentally and spiritually satisfied, soulfully satisfied as well. So if a woman is intelligent, and let's say you only good for the physical stimulation, you can take her out and eat, buy her a few things materially. She might want to hug up on you and stuff like that. But then let's say you're not that bright. Let's say you don't really have that conscious awakening going on. And because she's more mature than you, this is what's going to stimulate her brain. Where's she going to get that from? Now all of a sudden she got the option of seeing some other man's mind because she can go on social media and be like, hey, 19 Keys be, why you don't think like 19 Keys though? How come he at a whole nother level? That's where now she listening to me or she listening to Brother Ben or listening to her Red Pill. She listening to somebody and that's where she's getting her conscious stimulation, her mental stimulation. So she might be getting physical from you, but what's in a person's mind, those ideas that turn a person's mind, that's the most valuable thing. That really sticks with a person. So if you're not able to mentally stimulate your woman in today's time, you are likely to lose her by one of them conscious brothers. I'm going to tell you, man, consciousness is the new attractive. That's what women are finding attractive. It used to be the gangsters, the D-boys, you got the gold, rope, the chain, things of that nature, but women are finding leaders sexy again. Women are finding the mind of a man really sexy today. That's what they really find sexy. They're like, that's what I'm attracted to. All the jewels he got in his head, not just the jewels he got on his hands or around his neck or on his arm. So if you're not giving a woman those jewels, then she gonna go to a different jeweler. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to understand that you might not have your woman's mind if you're not the one that's feeding that. You know what I mean? If you're not giving her, like you say, the metaphysical, that conscious stimulation, she gonna get that from somewhere else. A woman don't want to deprive herself of something that she wants and needs because then she gonna feel like she has to sacrifice herself for you. So she gonna be cheating on you mentally with the conscious brothers that's out here, the scholars, the people that's out here curating all this good information. You know what I mean? The people out here dropping this knowledge and being in positions of leadership. That's the new magnetism. That's the new attractiveness. So you have to be careful to just try to stimulate your woman on a physical level. You have to really gain these new qualities so that you can stimulate her on all levels. Because women have always been surpassed men on a lot of different levels, and men have just been too egoistic to really observe that and really say that that's what's happening. And so when you a person that's in tune, look, back in the 90s, they used to say they want men to be more sensitive. And so men was like, I'm going to drake it out. I'm going to get a little more sensitive. They fought for it. Now, shit, what happened when men got so sensitive, they start acting like women. Now, here's the thing about repelling energies. When you got alike energies, they repel each other like a magnet, right? So what ended up happening is now you have a man who have a lot of feminine behavior. Now, when men has this effeminate behavior, and you might have got to this guy, you say, hey, I wanted a guy who was in touch with his feminine ways, but he not in touch with his masculine self anymore. Damn. So now, you all are so alike that you're starting to be repelled by his character. You starting to be repelled by his energy because you starting to see yourself in him. And you're supposed to be able to get something from the person that you with that you don't have. Y'all supposed to create that yin yang balance, that positive and that negative, and it's supposed to be able to fit together. But if the yin yang is faced this way, his yin yang faced this way, that ain't gonna go together. So you definitely gotta have the mental emotional orgasm, the intellectual orgasms. You know what I mean? So the issue that happening is men have become way too feminine for the attraction of women's of femininity, and women have become way too masculine to attract the masculine man. So what ended up happening is you end up finding a feminine man and a masculine woman, or feminine or a masculine woman and a feminine man. I hope I said that. And so that never truly works, because then you find people that find themselves in roles they were not meant for. And that doesn't fit in the long term. That's when you find all of these problems that arise, all of these weird things going on. And so you have to understand that our ancestors, not me, not you, nobody, our ancestors of different cultures around the world constructed these roles because they found how they scientifically and mathematically fit based on our divine nature. That is different. That's a whole nother level. Our divine nature. So they said they studied the man, they studied the woman. And they said, based off our divine nature, these principles have to be instilled. This protocol has to be instilled. This structure is created. The problem we have today is deconstructionism. This philosophy that we can deconstruct things, but we don't put anything back in its place of a better structure. We're supposed to take the structures of our ancient ancestors who had wisdom of infinite knowledge and restructure it in today's time, not deconstruct it. We're supposed to update it to fit our new cultural norms. So when people don't understand that, we get lost in it. We like, how come this not working? How come mom and dad was able to stay together longer? Mom and dad grew up in a different period of time. There was times where family marriages were created so that you can create legacies, so that you can build empires, so that families can bridge wealth together. There was bigger reasons than the individuation and their particular aspiration for love. There's marriages that become arranged to where a person falls in love with that person because they really build a friendship. And that's a big thing right there, friendship. Men and women don't know how to be friends no more. I mean, like, for real. Men and women do not know how to be friends no more. I can't fall in love with a woman unless I'm her friend first. I gotta like you as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be friends. Like, I gotta be able to enjoy your company on that level so we can continuously build on that. Underneath our relationship or on the side or inside the relationship has to be a friendship. You understand that? So if we don't have a friendship, we can't start a family. So you have to think about that. And men don't know how to be friends with women on a platonic level to where they can even see the value in a woman. Because when you friends with a woman and you take out the sex element, then you get to see all the value, and it's not curated by your lower inclinations of just having sexual urges. That's a whole different reasoning. So if I'm talking to a lot of men, get them really. I'm heavy on the men right now because I'm a man, so I'm speaking from that perspective. And a lot of men get women that are really valuable. Some of the most valuable women on the planet. She can be a lawyer, a doctor, a scientist, you know what I'm saying, an engineer. But the only thing they want to do is have sex with her. They have devalued all of the value in this woman because all they want to do is have sex with her. So here's the thing. And the same thing sometimes is done with what a woman does. She is only trying to find some sort of stimulation for her physical desires. So now she's only coming over for sex. Now a man can only see you for sex. Now the time that he thinks about it is when he wants his urge of sex to be met. So he's only calling you for when he wants to have an orgasm. That's what you become. Just a physical orgasmic thought. but none of mental stimulation, none of emotional stimulation, none of spiritual stimulation. So when that mood needs to be cultivated, the man won't call you because you are not the one who satisfied that. So you have to know what you set up. So women really get attached when they have sex. So if a woman is attached when they have sex in that physical realm, regardless of what they say a lot of times, and they say, hey, I want this to just be, we just gonna have sex. That's it. It's just gonna be one of those things. We grown, we understand this. Then next thing you know, bruh hit those, and then all of a sudden you got feelings and you have an attachment on a level the where he not at, because he kept it at physical, and now you added the emotional, and now y'all not hitting no more. You know what I mean? So you don't understand that you created that expectation. You know what I'm saying? And now that is the only way that this person calls you. That's the only reason this person hits you up. But now you have become emotionally invested. You know what I mean? And now the man got to suffer this karma of energy coming back on him because he treated you how you said you wanted to be treated. So you have to be careful, because in today's time, man, a lot of people just get what they want. And if you don't clarify your intentions with communication, then you find yourself dissatisfied. You know what I mean? And dissatisfaction brings about a change. So you constantly have to change partners. Oh, I thought I found the right one. Nope, that didn't work out. And then you become drained because the energy of all of these different partners is draining you. And that's especially true for women as well. You know what I'm saying? And I could break it down scientifically, but I'm not going to do all of that. But at the same time, that energy of the women that a man has sex with is transferred on him as well. So this is biology. This is science. It's not just esoteric thought patterns. You know what I'm saying? We are really human beings, right? So people always remember the human part, but they forget about the being. You know what I mean? And we talking about the being and the essence of a person. When you all collide with each other, you all share that energy. You know what I mean? Sex is very powerful. You know what I mean? So that sexual energy drives so much of our society today and so much of our thought. So you got your lower thoughts that can be driven down here. If you ever look at the Star of David, it has 6 points, right? So there's head, you know what I mean, arm, leg, and then it has one more point that points down. And that's really a diaphragm for a person's energy. You know what I mean? Your energy can be pointed up here. But let's say a woman is on the first date, she got the titties out. Now, excuse my language. So that now his energy is not pointed up here anymore with these higher thoughts. Now it's pointed down here. But now he's thinking lustfully. So now the blood flows from his brain down to the other muscle. So now his intentions and his thoughts are to satisfy the urges of his lower desires, because that's where his consciousness has went to, his lower self. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you have to understand that we live in a society that curates our lower desires. And women, I always say this, people it's like this. White boy asked me the other day, he said, can I say nigga? I said, you can say what you want to. You got freedom of speech, but you have to deal with the consequences. You know what I mean? Women can dress how they want to. You got freedom of doing what you want to. The consequences, the reaction. Men can barely control their reactions when it comes to saving money and when it comes to handling themselves. So when it comes to handling a woman, you think they can control their reactions? So here's the thing. What I'm saying is the reactions of sexual energy, a man can't control when a woman entices his sexual mind, and therefore his intent is now on sex. So when a woman exposes herself in a manner that makes a man think sexual, that's where his intent now lies, because now you are energizing his lower consciousness, and now his ambition, everything he's saying, everything he's doing is so that he can satisfy his lower self. Same thing with a man. When you dropping game on her, you feel me, in that matter where you magnetizing and you getting her all wet and things of that nature, she ain't thinking about no higher consciousness. She ain't thinking about no marriage. She thinking about, let me satisfy this real quick. We about to have sex. You understand it? So you create the circumstances regardless of whether you say you like the outcome or not. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people like to take their responsibility out the outcome of what happened. This man was wrong. This woman was wrong. Did you really look for the signs? Did you really Cool, cool. Did you really look for the signs? Did you really try to figure out if this was going to work? Was that really your intent? Or was you being guided by your lower self and your emotions? So, relationships these days can't sustain each other because the options are crazy. The sexual urges are crazy, uncontrollable. How our communication is crazy. You got to think of options as kind of like going into a shoe store. And let's say you walk into the shoe store and there's thousands of shoes everywhere. They all look good. You go get option fatigue. It's gonna be hard for you to choose. Like, damn, I don't know. Let me get the 11. Let me get the Pro. Let me get the Goop. I don't know which one I want. Let me just try. Let me try these on today. Then tomorrow I'm gonna come back get another pair though, cause y'all got hella options in here. I don't know which one I want. So now a person is in there trying to try them all on. That's what we be trying to do. We be trying to try all these pairs on. You know what I'm saying? So we pair it with each other and we be trying to kick it. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to try this on, try that on. Instead of, let's say you walked in there and there was only a few options. As soon as you seen the right one, you knew it like, hey, let me get that pair right there. You got that in my size? That's going to fit. I'm with these. I'm lacing them up. We good forever. Keeping them clean, everything. Best shoes ever in my life. But we are that goddamn kick fanatic in this kick store and he can't decide or she can't decide because we want to try everything on. You feel me? And so it's incumbent upon you to know self, to really study self, to really study the nature of man and woman. And when you become in tune and self-aware with your own masculine and feminine energy, then you start to find success in relationships. And here's the thing. Don't look at it to go on a journey of relationships. People can tell you what they want. These are just my opinions and my thoughts towards relationships. So you don't have to agree with them at all. All you're doing is observing my mind and how I think about it. So I'm not saying that, I'm the Bible or the Quran, the relationships. I'm just telling you what my thoughts are, what my logic and reasoning is. So when you think about relationships, when you put that S on it, you are already creating intentions. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When you create that intention to say, I'm trying to figure out how these relationships is going to work, things of that nature. A lot of people put plural on it. You know what I'm saying? They are already thinking about their next relationship while they're in one or before they get into one. Because their intention is not for marriage. Their intention is just to try on the shoe. I just want to see how this fit real quick. Let me lace it up, see if that felt good. I want to see if I can get past the pleasure zone. You feel me? If this was just busting a nut or this was actually us creating a family or building something together. So it gets to that point where, a person really matures in their mindset and their mentality and they really want to build something for the future. They really start to think of future building. And that's a whole different mentality than, I just want to have sex with a person. You know what I'm saying? Because a person, for a man, that journey of going, I'm going to tell you women, this is why a lot of men cheat. For a lot of men, the journey of getting a woman is what they go for. They go for that journey of getting her. And then when they have what they desire, because men are masculine and they want power, now they have power over their desires. And now they feel like they are accomplished. It was only a fulfillment of the ego. You know what I mean? And so once that journey and you meet this destination, it was just a destination. So now when they get here, now they got to go somewhere else because they weren't planning on taking you on the journey with them. You were just a part of their journey. And then when men have sex, it's scientifically proven. Fact check this. Maybe right, maybe wrong, no. But I've heard this multiple times, and I ran with this thought. I'm going to research this afterwards. Matter of fact, let me research it now. But they say it's scientifically proven that man remembers less about sex than women because women have sex with their emotions. And when you store things in your emotions, then you store things in your long-term memory. And so man, interesting pattern of thinking, G. Yeah, man, I be everywhere with it. Man remembers less about sex, so he never finds pleasure in sex in a long-term situation. A lot of times it was just short-term, and he has to consistently try to, get that memory back, get that feeling back. But women, they be writing them novels about sex. They remember everything from the beginning to end. So now, she want to do that same thing over. She got this whole movie in her mind. She want to go replay. Bro only had a quick commercial. He can tell you beginning and end. You know what I'm saying? He don't remember all of this. Oh, appreciate it, out for London. You know what I'm saying? So he trying to describe to his boys what happened. It's like, shit, it was good, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Stuff was good. You feel me? On to the next. He just tried them on. So there's a disconnect there. But see, when men and women understand each other's nature, then they become empathetic to that thought process and that pattern. Then they construct a relationship around that so it works successfully. And that's why structure and things of that nature is important, because it's based upon you all's nature. An environment is stronger than nature, unfortunately. And your environment is your friends, your family, social media, media, entertainment, the music you listen to, that's all your environment. And your environment is not telling you to get married. Nah. Your environment ain't telling you to be friends with a first, create a relationship second. Your environment ain't teaching you about, the science of mating and sex and things of that nature. It's not breaking none of that stuff down. Yes, sir, on the same frequency. Wells, appreciate you. So that becomes a huge issue, man. And you find if there's no success today, marriage, although there is some success as well, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of couples getting married today. There's still a lot of love in the air, but what we have to think about is longevity. Future building, family building, legacy building, empire building. You know what I'm saying? And until we really get back to our thinking in our real ancient consciousness, and when we think about making something work, we have to figure out how it works. What are the details on the inside? You can't just say, I want to be in a relationship, but you don't want to follow the rules of it, though you believe that the relationship is a construct that you shouldn't follow, yet you want a relationship that comes with a construct. That don't make sense. If that's the case, it's kind of like a person saying that I want to be successful, but I don't want to work. Success comes with work. So there's a relationship. You have to work for it to be successful. And you have to engage in the protocol of the success of that relationship in order for it to be successful. So stop playing yourself. You understand it? You got to stop playing yourself. In the book, I ain't gonna say how much I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna try to break down a little bit. I'm gonna try not to go too deep into it. I'm gonna break down the science of mating a bit, science of sex, some of the science of relationship. I think I've tried to cover and touch on too many things in this book, so I might have to shorten it. I'm a perfectionist, so I've revised it a few different times. But I think I want to close and I want to say this last thing, and I really try to say the same thing over and over on purpose, because repetition builds character. You know what I'm saying? Musahill.com, Musahill. Repetition builds character, so I like to say the same things over and over so it gets programmed into a person's long-term thinking. I'm working on Mac, so I'm working diligently every day to get this together. But repetition, builds character. Repetition programs the subconscious mind to create habits and subconscious behavior. So I want you all to really focus and study on the nature of man and woman. Regardless of what your belief systems are today, regardless of where your ideology is today, if you want to be in a successful relationship, then you have to follow the protocol of it. That's it. If you go get a job, you got to follow the rules. If you want to start a business, you have to follow the protocol. There's a certain way you have to get you one, bro. Stop playing with this. The Supreme Crown. It's a certain way that you have to engage in that relationship in order for it to be successful. So quit saying you want things, but you're not willing to put in the work to get it in the correct manner. And anytime you get into a relationship, the only relationships that truly matter on this earth, in the long term, are the ones that build something together. Ones that are marriages, ones that build families and things together. Everything else is just short term. So, what's a great book is Understanding the Black Woman's Guide. The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. I believe it's by Shahrazad Ali. I want to say that that's correct. I hope I said that correct. If I didn't say it correct, I'm gonna come back and put it in the comments. It has to be. It has to be. Man has to be a provider, a maintainer, and a protector. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. My brother got me going because it actually stemmed from a question on Facebook about should the man be the provider, and should the woman's money be her own, and things of that nature. And I thought I'd engage in this thought for a second. Yeah, I think this was an amazing build. I appreciate y'all commenting, keeping me live, keeping the energy going. Oh, sister, you gotta relax. You can't just make proclamations like that. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, you know, sometimes it be away from my thought. But I know that sometimes I never know who may be listening and who can maybe get some food from this. You know what I'm saying? And so if somebody can get some food from this, then I hope that you really digesting it, and I hope that it really helps nourish your mind to where a person can really change their pattern of thinking towards it, and they can be successful in it. Because, you know, the greatest thing we need right now is family. The black family is in disarray, but at the same time, we're building a black family. So, you know, we have to continue to do that, and we have to think about future building. You know, and if we think about future building, you know, we stop being so selfish, and we start doing things for the long term so that it can last for a very long time. You know, that's what it's really about. You know, next time you see a woman, make sure you speak to her. Make sure you engage her, you know, in the most respectful manner possible. Same thing with women. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Women are the most divine beings on this planet Earth. The only reason we have to be alive, the only reason we are alive. You know what I mean? So you have to have so much respect for the woman, so much love for woman, because that's love for self, because you come from a woman, you know? So you can't have self-love if you don't love a woman. And that goes for women and men. So remember that. Remember that. And that's the key. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. And yeah, go tap into musahill.com, MUSAHILL. Yes, stop being selfish. Hey, stay tuned. And we got more coming. Yes, y'all the portal to the universe. Y'all the portal. If you on Instagram, go comment that you was on this gram. If you on Instagram, go comment that you was on this gram, and I'm gonna follow you back. Go comment on the gram on 19_keys, and I'm gonna follow you back. Just type in just watch your YouTube or something like that. I appreciate y'all. Peace.